Hello, hello, Brendan. We're
Hello.
still waiting for Mark. But hey, we're live. Isn't that exhilarating? Isn't that exciting?
It's been a while, huh? Good to
Yeah, it's
see you,
been a
Maddie.
while. Good to
How
see
are
you,
you
man.
doing? You just what are we talking about? We're talking about WordCamp?
Okay, wait. I need to. Yeah, okay. I just had you guys had you on both screens. It has been a while. Yeah, private life's been happening. It's crazy. My wife passed her final exams, so she's now a
Congrats.
licensed psychotherapist for kids and adolescents. And wow, it was like she really got great grades and everything. So I'm very proud of her, and it's so awesome that that worked out. And now we're kind of getting back to normal life. So here I am, and there's Mark.
Excellent.
Hello, Mark.
What up, guys? Can you hear me? Sorry,
Good
UV Mux is
sir.
being weird.
All good.
Hello, welcome.
It's nice to see you, man. We're
Same,
just
guys.
talking about how it's been a while.
Absolutely, yeah. We've all been busy. I heard the
Yeah.
congrats to your wife.
Thank you
She's
so much. Appreciate it.
oh yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
And
Brendan, congrats on
congrats.
your move.
Thank you, sir.
Wait, we
And
moved?
and look at the studio behind this guy.
That
Working on
studio,
it.
man. Freaking awesome.
I love
It's
it.
like the
Better
Death
lighting,
Star.
but we're
I
working
love
on
it.
Yeah, it's dark in here,
Yeah.
But good stuff.
Yeah, good times, good times. So, WordCamp Europe, how did you like it? Oh, wait, you weren't there.
Yeah,
Burn.
FOMO. Big FOMO.
Can you do you want to tell us, like, you had a private thing. You want to tell us what it was?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
want to talk about it?
Yeah, me. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was. My sister got married to her longtime boyfriend, then fiance, and that was literally last night, yesterday afternoon. I was the officiant of that ceremony, so I had to get. I had to fill out a form, like a small form on a website to get myself like affiliated with some sort of ministry, and then the Commonwealth
What?
of Pennsylvania. Now I have some sort of power within the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania to marry people. It
Oh
was
my
great.
God.
It was a good time. I probably won't ever do that again, but that was a good time. So yeah,
Nice. Well, congratulations to your sister. I'm sure it was awesome.
it was a great time. Yeah, I appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Awesome.
But yeah, that's why I couldn't be there.
Yeah. We missed you.
I
It
saw
would've
a
been
bunch
nice.
of pictures, man. I'm
Yeah.
super excited to hear your rundown. I'm getting pictures from multiple people, from you, from Kevin, from Mark Weisbrod. I mean, you're popping around and got the hat on,
Yeah.
seeing all sorts of stuff.
The hat's been doing me good. It's been helping.
Good
It's
branding.
like I walked in the first day and I walked up the stairs and there was like this massive room full. I mean, it's a conference, so what do you expect? But it's just booths everywhere and just booths, not booths, booths. Yeah. And tons and tons of people. And I was like, oh fuck, I'm an introvert. Oh my God. And it's like 2 minutes, somebody walks up to me and like smiles at me and is like, hey man. And I'm like, hey, I know you from the videos. And I'm like, strike.
There you
That was
go.
great.
It's working.
Yeah, that was really wonderful. And yeah, I'm basically, I invited you. I kind of want to do what Mark did, so I'm basically I'm not doing anything original here. I'm just copying Mark, and just kind of
I
give
don't
like
do anything original either.
yeah.
Mm.
WordCamp is over. Sakawat is asking. Yes. So it ended yesterday night. There was an after party yesterday night, and I missed that because I needed to drive back. And I can only imagine it was amazing. But yeah, it was an eventful one. Obviously, all I can give is really just my own experiences, my own perspective from about what went on over those 3 days. And wait, let me share my screen. This might be a good moment to share my screen.
And did I hear it was just a short drive for you, a couple hours?
Indeed, yes. So
Awesome.
how
Must
it
be
came
nice.
about anyway was Mark. I met Mark in person in March at Cloudfest in Roost, and that was just a 90-minute drive for me. So, like, I think in February something, Mark, you were like, "Hey, I'm going to be in Germany," and I was like, "What the fuck, really?"
Down the
And
road, yeah.
yeah, down the road, and I was like, "Okay, I'm going. I don't mind. I don't care." And Mark, you helped me get the ticket, and And I went there and I met you in person, and I met a whole lot of other people from the WordPress world. Had really fantastic conversations. And I was like, it was like a shot in the arm. I was like, oh, fuck, I want to go again. I want to do more of this. And then obviously people were talking about, are you going to WCEU? And I was like, well, I don't know. Where is it? And I looked it up and I found out it's a 3-hour drive from me. So I was like, yeah, that's a no-brainer. So first thing I did, I after I got home, I spoke to my friend Anya, who you might know from some of my other videos, and also from Anya Kretzer. So she's around. You probably know her from the BRICS groups and everything. And I was like, hey, are you going to WCEU? And she was like, no, I'm going to a wedding, but you can have my ticket. And I'm like, yeah, I want that. I'd like that, please.
Nice. That's great.
so,
She went
yeah.
to Mark's sister's wedding.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she went.
She flew over. Yeah.
Indeed. Oh, Daveson is here. How's it going, Dave, man? Nice to see you.
What's up, Dave?
Thanks for joining. And yeah. So then in the morning, I think I was already in Basel when I saw Kevin's post, and I was like, wait, Kevin is here? Holy shit. I didn't see that one coming. But then again, in hindsight, it makes sense, right? Like, I remember when he was in Torino last year, he said, he came back and he was like, yeah, you don't go for, like, WordCamps, you don't go for the talks. Who really cares, right? But you go there for the networking. So that's why I kind of figured he's not going to fly to Europe for this one. But then it's edge time, man. So, I guess for that reason alone, it makes sense. But also, I mean, he does want the networking, and yeah, that was really, really nice. So Kevin is part of this story, and a lot of other really wonderful people that I'm so glad I got to meet in person. Like Raquel, for instance, I saw her and I had a really good conversation, just brief, like 15, 20 minutes, just a really wonderful conversation. I mean, you guys know her. She's fantastic. So I left in the morning on Thursday, and then I arrived at like 10:30 or something. So the thing was already running. Then I got to my Airbnb, and I found out what shouldn't have surprised me, that parking in Basel is a shit show. So I tried to find a spot to leave my car, and in the end, WordCamp networking is important for the Edge team. I guess, yeah, at this point it makes sense, right, for them to do that.
I think a lot of the team is based over there as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So
like there's a bunch of people from Austria and Germany who were there.
Yeah, the whole team went except me, Toby,
you
Alicia, and Tommy.
That's correct. Yeah, 3 people were missing.
So it's good to see the crew.
By the way, I'm just going to bring this up real quick here. For the one person in the audience who hasn't clicked yet. What was I going to say? Yeah, and then I already had a headache when I arrived, so that was kind of shitty. And then, so first thing I needed, I went in. First, I went to the Airbnb. I unpacked and everything, and then I put the car in a parking garage, and it would have been like, if it had stayed in the parking garage, it would have set me back over the 3 days like 120 or 130 euros. So that was not an option. And so I went to the actual WordCamp thing, and I found out that the Airbnb, I knew it was sort of close to it. Sakawat, awesome, thanks you. He was already subscribed, so there. That's good. And I found out that how to even get decent parking for my car. Like, there's a parking app, and you can buy tickets that you can park in blue zones and stuff like that. So I spent a whole bunch of the day just finding my bearings and kind of figuring out what to do there, and what to do with my car. So first day was Contributor Day, for those who don't know. So the Contributor Day at WordCamp is the day where people get together in a giant room, and there's tables for the different WordPress teams. Like, there's accessibility teams, there's diversity teams, there's teams for plugin quality assurance, and I sat down at the polyglot table where people are translating stuff.
Wait, can we stop real quick? Maddie, is this your first WordCamp?
It's my first WordCamp. Yeah.
Oh shit. Okay, this is important. All right. This is a big deal.
That is important. I should have mentioned that. Yeah, it's actually that's the thing, right? Like the CloudFest that you kind of helped me get into.
Mm.
Was for me was like, oh God, I want more of this. And then I went to WordCamp, and now this was my first WordCamp. Exactly.
Gotcha.
So I knew
Exciting.
about Contributor Day. I had heard about it before because because of the meetup in Saarbrücken, the WordPress meetup. There was a speaker who talked about this. But yeah, so when I arrived, I took just a few random photos from Basel. This is just like a street corner cafe, which I thought was
And then
really
real
cute.
quick, we're not seeing the screen.
Oh, you're not seeing
Yeah, I think
the
I
screen?
think you got pulled up from the bottom. I think.
Yeah, I spent time with Kevin, so I'm not sharing my screen anymore.
Look at that.
That was like a little street side cafe. It's really nice. And then it's basically just because my wife was like, send me some photos, and I was like, this cafe there. It was like only by the third day did I even realize, hey, I should take some actual footage and photos and stuff to show in a live stream and whatnot. So this is the apartment that I went in, and this cat was just always sitting there. It's like every time I left the apartment or came back, the cat was just sitting
That
there.
comes
So,
with the Airbnb. It's your guest.
yeah, I
Those
guess
European cats.
Yeah. So there's cats in Basel, in case you were wondering. Just fucking up
I
birds and
was.
stuff.
Mm.
You were wondering, so I figured. Yeah, that was the street. But does that look European or what? I mean,
Sure does.
and then, yeah, you had like these loungy type of places. I mean, just around the Congress Center, obviously, you'd find like upscale bars and stuff like that, right? So it looked really nice. And it turns out, also unsurprisingly, that Switzerland is very expensive, right? So I ate like a kebab plate with like some rice and kebab meat, and it was like and a glass of water, and we're talking tap water, and it set me back 23 euros. So yeah, that's easily 10 euros more than it would cost in Germany. Yeah, probably something like that.
I have no frame of reference, Brendan. How much is that in
In
the United States?
yeah, what's in the
It's
United
pretty
States?
close now, right? The exchange rate's pretty close, so it's
Yeah.
Okay.
$25 probably.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, kebab prices are probably subsidized in Germany. So
Could be, yeah. That could be. But still, even like it didn't get better when I ate more other food in the subsequent days. And I think like from some people that I spoke to, the visitor numbers were much lower than they usually are for WordCamps. And
did hear
part of the
that.
reason, and a lot of comments that I've seen online as well, is just that people were like, I'm not going to Switzerland. I can't afford it. There's no way. And with the revelation, like you might have seen it with at the final, like after the fireside chat, the final announcement, where's the next one going to be? It was Krakow, and the room just went ape shit. Like they really love that.
Oh.
I can afford Poland.
Yeah, exactly. I think that was part of the reason. So I filmed the outside. Here's the thing: on a Linux machine, the EVMAX won't share my sound, which is kind of annoying. But yeah, so it's. I mean, there's no really sound that you need to. But I should bring it to the right screen. Hang on, now.
Oh wow.
Go back.
Holy moly, that's a big convention center.
Yeah. So that was the part where WordCamp was, and then on the other side, none of this building had WordCamp in it.
Were there other events going on too, or
It's pretty sick though.
Not to my knowledge, no.
that's huge.
Slow weekend. Well, wait a second though. This was when was Contributor Day? Was it third? Was that
was
Friday?
on the Thursday. Yeah, that was on the first day.
So it was Thursday. Was it Thursday, Friday, Saturday?
Yeah, that's right.
Interesting.
Yeah, so you had Contributor Day with like this was sort of the scene inside. So I sat back there, and then you
did contribute. You contributed. You were there.
I did
Like,
contribute. Yeah, like there's now a couple of German lines in the ASE plugin thanks to me.
Nice.
Well, there will be because like you send them in, but you like I didn't know that, right? Like you go to make.wordpress.org. That much I knew that if you go there, you can contribute. And then you just click your way through, which is a bit labyrinthine, but eventually you get there. And then you just get to the translation part and you look up the plugin that you want to contribute translations to, and you just put them in. And then they get saved and they get sent along to like a quality assurance guy. And that person then like approves them. And then 2 or 3 years later, they land in the plugin.
There you go.
That's how that works. Yeah. They had these two official waipus. This was one of them, and the other one, I don't know. I don't know if I have a photo of it. But and then outside, like, and I'm gonna have videos later to kind of show how this all fits together and what the location is. But you had these tables, and I'm sure this was similar in Torino as well, right? Where you just had random tables where people can just sit down and open their laptops and work, which I like that. Like I had my little laptop. I mean, I have this big gaming laptop that I'm using right now to stream and everything, and it's like literally it has an RTX 3080 Ti and an i9 and all that stuff. So I can edit videos and do photo retouching and everything on it. And now since recently, I've had a very small 14-inch old Lenovo laptop that is a Windows 11 victim. So it used to belong to my mom, and my mom was like, "Well, it's gonna die. There's no way it's gonna run Windows 11." So she gave it to me. I put Linux Mint on it, and now I have this little laptop that I can just carry with me. And I'm like, finally, I've reached the year 2010, and I can just bring my laptop anywhere and just open it and do some work. And that's what I did. Like I sat down on several days. I sat down and I opened my laptop, and then like it took about 2 or 3 minutes until somebody walked up to me and disrupted my work. So that's, but that's WordCamp. That was fucking fantastic. I was like, it really took no time to just have conversations. Like either I ran into somebody that I recognized, or somebody recognized me, or somebody just walked up and shook my hand. Or, I turned around and there was a dude behind me and I just started a conversation. And that's glorious. That's really that's the best part of it. And I'm going to say right away, I just like Kevin said as well, like the talks are not the main thing. And I saw one talk, which was the final closing thing with Matt Mullenweg, which was disappointingly very sensible and reasonable and graceful. Yeah. Unfortunately, no explosions or anything like that. No, seriously though, I mean, considering what happened on Saturday night, which we're going to get to, he was really, like, he was so diplomatic and so reasonable. Like, I think mad props to the guy, because like from what we've seen and heard from him in the past, I don't know, 7, 8 months, 9 months, I wasn't so sure about that. Nobody was so sure about that. And like, especially during the thing, Mary, who's the new CEO of WordPress, Automatic, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but she basically said, she brought it up, and we're going to get into some more details soon. But and he kind of really gracefully responded to it. And then towards the end, there was then the Q&A section started, and then the audience started grilling him. And even then, it's just poised and reasonable, and I thought it was nice. Still, some people, I mean, people are obviously, a lot of people are very irate at him, and that was palpable in the room at some points. Like there was real tension in the room. So let's see, do I have other pictures? Yeah, I have this one. They also shared on Facebook. It's just like this big wall that they have put up. People taking pictures in front of it all the time, and that's actually already all I have from day one. Let me see. So the headache never really went away. So I stayed for about 2 hours, and then it finished up by then anyway. So by 4 to 5 p.m. they close everything up, and that's when the day ends. And then I went back and I took a nap. And then did I even leave again? No, I think I just stayed in that night. Yeah, I did a bunch of work, and then I kind of crashed so I could get a more early start the next day. If I miss anything from the first day, I'll remember it while I'm talking more. So let me bring you guys back on. There we are. Questions. It's like you've been how many of these things have you been to? Like PressConf, WordPress. Have you lost count?
I'm still pretty much a rookie. I know Brennan's probably been more than me, because he started
just one
earlier.
That was my first WordCamp.
Oh yeah, shitting me?
Not you.
Yeah. You didn't go to the San Diego one?
Nope.
Oh well, that was okay. Well, we're both still pretty rookies then. I've just been to the WordCamp US, CloudFest, and then PressConf. So a lot and a little bit. So
it's funny. Our experiences, like, do they overlap from what you've heard so far? Do they overlap? Well, do you feel the same way, or?
I haven't been to, the only European experience I had was CloudFest. Right, so that's not like a 1-to-1, but I've heard that there's obviously 3 regional WordCamps, like the big ones, right? US, Europe, and Asia.
Yeah.
And they all have very distinct kind of vibes to them. Like US is, kind of how we went there, bounces around from, side of the country and stuff like that. And it's just kind of, we know it because we live here, like Brendan and I kind of like, we get the vibe. I also feel like maybe US was, I'm making a big assumption here. I'm wondering if Matt could have even made that talk anywhere else that he did when we were there. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of more of like a thing that I feel like, again, generalizing, that United States people would have like at least maybe resonated with a little bit. Obviously there was like, pushback and things like that, but I'm saying I don't think he would have made that talk in Asia or Europe. I don't think it fits as much.
Yeah.
I think the vibe in Europe, from what I understand, again, I might be misquoting this, I think Remkes de Vries was like one of like the huge players in Europe, either when it was starting or like in the earlier days, and now he's more of like an attendee and he's passed the baton off to others. But like that Europe is like, again, people that are business focused, but they are also like heavily involved. Like they love the project. They love that community vibe and that aspect. So I'm interested to hear like what your take on that was. And then Asia is, I know we're not talking about Asia here, but just as a quick aside, Asia seems like people that like just love WordPress, but they're brand new. There's a lot of young people there. There's a lot of people that just, they see this tool and they can just, they can make not like money, like millions or whatever. They're not like business focused. They're like, it's livelihood focused almost is the way that I've seen that, just the glimpses. I mean, the content that I saw coming out of that was like literally young people, the youngest people that I've seen. Yeah. And I don't see them in Europe too much. I don't see them at all in the United States. And just young people just getting into it and like enamored by it. They'll walk into that convention center, it looks like, and they don't know what WordPress is. You know what I mean? It's an interesting vibe. Just again, I haven't been there, but from what I've seen. So that's what I feel like is the distinct things there. So like, I don't know, specifically to Europe, did you get a little bit of that vibe? Was it like very community centric? Did it feel what was that like? I know you described it a little bit, but I mean, it seems like you kind of knew a lot of people too, just from
I definitely did. Well, first of all, like I ran into Remkes almost immediately. Like he was almost one of the
hard to miss.
People. Yeah, he's hard to miss, first of all. And secondly, it's like, it feels like he's part of the inventory, right? Like he just needs to be there. And I was like, I think he was literally the first person I recognized. And I was like, yeah, obviously. Even after just meeting him for the first time at CloudFest, he's like such a remarkable presence that, first of all, he's hard to miss. And secondly, from all I've heard from him and about him, and from what he said, is he just belongs there, I guess, right? And he had his kid with him again as well, although I didn't meet his son this time. I didn't see him. But yeah, I spoke to Remkes for a while actually on the first day, and he was saying something about how Bill Gates is a douche. And
that's the topic of conversation.
Yeah. And then he was in conversation with two other people, and I kind of busted that. And who else on the first day? I saw Andrew pretty quickly too, but I didn't speak much with him on the first day. But on the second day during lunch, he came over to my table, and we talked a little bit. Andrew Palmer, from Atarim. Okay. He's another great guy that I also met at CloudFest, and you met at CloudFest. Did you know him beforehand?
I hadn't met. Did I meet him in? I don't know if I saw him in US. I can't remember back then. But I mean, I'd seen him. I've known him from meetings, like calls and groups and stuff like that. But yeah, I met a lot of people for the first time out there. Yeah, because again, that's sometimes if you're in Europe, if you're in Asia, like it's hard to travel to the US. So that's why it is very interesting for us to be able to go, either way. But if going to, like you said, going to CloudFest, there's a lot of people that I might never meet if I don't go, Europe. So,
that's it. Yeah.
So
Max is here. Hey, Max. Nice to see you, man.
Max?
Where were you? Tell us.
Where?
Why didn't you go? Come on, Max. What's wrong?
Or he did. I was avoiding you.
I would have loved to meet you, man. I hope we should do something. I mean, Max is in Munich, I believe, so he's not that far away. We should get him. Max, we should meet in some way.
Yeah, that's one of the cool things about the EU one is that people can just drive from their respective countries.
Yeah, exactly.
Like train or whatever.
Berlin. Oh shit! Yeah, you're in Berlin, right?
Oh, right.
Okay.
They have trains that run over 40 miles an hour. So
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
But people
Yeah.
coming from like what seems like the other side of the continent, it's like, oh, it's like a 4-hour train ride. It's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah, true. It's
The
And I mean, for
scale is
me, it
much
was
different.
ridiculously close. But even the next one in Poland, I'm very, very seriously considering going.
Yeah, I might have to do that as well. I don't know what my year is going to look like next year, though, but I saw
Yeah.
press conf was renewed as well. And
Right.
I have to be doing some planning there. I have a quick question about this because I had to look up a map because I don't know European geography because I'm ignorant American. So I landed in Munich,
Yeah.
but like somebody coming from the United States, obviously you were driving down there, but like this is also directly, this is another one of those situations. It's like Europe, it's not far from Europa Park, can't be, right? Because
No, it's not even that
it's
far.
right in
Yeah.
the middle. It's right in the middle of where Switzerland, France, and Germany almost come together here, right? So that's also like super. I mean, obviously, nothing is incredibly long distance, so to speak, in this region. I feel like, but was that? I don't know. I don't know. Just I guess I've never been to Basel, so I mean, was it a typical? We saw some of the pictures. Is it a typical Switzerland vibe? Had you ever been down there?
I mean, I've like when I was a kid, we used to, me and my family and my parents, we used to go to France a lot. Like we just threw the
Okay.
tent in the back of the car and then we just drove through France. But oftentimes we would go through Switzerland or like just stop in Switzerland because it's like there's roads that you can take through Switzerland or you can just deliberately go there. And so I saw a bunch of parts of Switzerland. Like I saw Lake Geneva, which is so gorgeous, and a lot of other parts just driving through. But then I couldn't name names as many because I was just a kid in the backseat. So, but I remember the impressions. And from what I saw of Basel, we often went through Basel, but we never stopped in Basel when I was young because I believe it just was on the way to where we wanted to go. And what I remembered was just concrete, like a whole lot of concrete and
Mm.
a whole lot of concrete bridges, over bridges, under bridges, and a lot of tunnels. And when I entered Basel, that's exactly what I got. That's just concrete. And then like Kevin told me, hey, you need to go to the Rhine River and to the inner city and to the old town is gorgeous. And I did none of that, so I couldn't tell you because there wasn't enough time. Like I got up, I got to the thing, and went to the thing, and then I put out a fire for a client. Oh yeah, that was also another thing I did on day one. Like one client was like, my contact form's not working. And I was like, well, fuck. So I ended up fixing a contact form like in the middle of WordCamp. But yeah, that's part of just doing this job, right? But yeah, funnily enough, Europa Park to Basel, let me bring this up. It's 57 minutes by car. So it's actually ridiculously close.
It's basically a suburb.
So Mark, if you'd stayed at Europa Park for the last 3-4 months, then you could have gone there straight. Yeah, that's the opportunity you missed. But then you wouldn't have gone to press. When was PressConf? Like 2 months ago?
Yeah, April, like late
Something
April.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. So again, you got there on Thursday?
I got there on Thursday, but yeah, like I said, when I arrived, I was already going on, and then
Gotcha. Okay.
And yeah, so that's give or take day one. So I want to bring in a surprise guest for day two, who I met, and who also some of you guys might know from the BRICS group or just from online. And his name is Oliver Bock. We had some really great conversations and really good times. So welcome, Oliver. How's it going, man? Hang on.
Thanks,
I unmuted you. Hello there.
I was also approaching Matty with like the man with a hat. It's like like an epic way to see him, and like then kind of always like WordPress influencer coming from like the live streams that you guys do. So like I'm very impressed by like the frequency that you have with putting out those live streams. And then it was cool seeing like
you should be most impressed with Mark. I mean, the dude's on fire.
It's just like
I just like to talk.
You got so far, Mark?
Yeah. What's that? I'm sorry, I missed that.
How many live streams you got so far?
Oh dear. I mean, I was doing them like once a week for a while, so I don't know, probably like I don't know. I think I did it like a year strong or something like that. But taking a step back on the live streams, but like I mean, bridge builders. I mean, I think we got a lot of good stuff coming up there. Possibly a lot of good topics. So we'll definitely get back onto that. But Oliver, I think we have definitely talked via social, but it's good to meet you
Yeah,
virtually, but
yeah,
like face to face, so to speak. So
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah. Finally in life, so to say, like on LinkedIn before, and like it was really cool. Like at the WordCamp, like Matty was at the table, and I was like, "Hey, good to see you in person." And like I joined there, and we had like a bunch of people just passing by. We were always like just waving at people, like, "Hey, join in!" And then
Yeah, you were
kind of
just
like,
picking them out of the crowd. It was insane. I sat down and I opened my laptop. I did like the first few brushstrokes for a website, and it's like, "Hey, man," and I'm like, "Yeah, dude, how's it going?" And then the moment you sat down, there was like two more people that sat down with us, and then it was just random people walking by and just waving at you, or you were waving at them, and you knew everybody. And I was like, "Shit, man, nice, good job."
WordCamp Vienna connections. Like
Yeah,
it's very community driven.
indeed.
But yeah, we made sure you don't get any work done.
And remind me, but like one thing that really I took away is that like you're in so many countries. Like you just go from one country. It seems like you just keep going, right? Like you were in God, let me see if I still get this right. In Thailand. Was it Thailand
Yeah,
recently?
Thailand this year, like Manila also for the WordCamp Asia, and
Right.
then afterwards Japan, but now settling back in Europe because it's kind of like easier to be just in one time zone and like have some level of consistency. Um,
And
it was
for
kind
the
of
time being, we still have this immense luxury. Like when I went to Canada, that's when I realized what luxury we live in Europe. You just get in the car and you drive into a different country and you just cross the border, and that's it. There's no you don't need to get a visa or some sort of exemption or anything. Like you just go,
yeah, and there's
and
like
that's
all the
fantastic.
same. Like Europe, like once you understand, like at least Central Europe, I would say, once you
Yeah.
understand like one country, like it's so convenient. Like I don't have to think much to get around. But
Mm.
then like with Asia, it took more headspace. It was like, how do I get around in Thailand? Like, okay, scooter
Yeah.
ride, like through the busy streets. And yeah, Europe is very calm, very predictable, I would say.
Yeah.
And
Zaka
yeah,
Watt is asking, would you consider yourself a digital nomad?
I would say I still am. Like I've been for the last 5 years, and now settling back in Munich, like to be able to network locally, because I found like it's super cool like to meet people from everywhere in the world. Like I had connections in Mexico, Thailand, Japan, but these people are usually not so connected. And like now I want to leverage like the local network. Like it's easier when you're like in one place and then like people know each other, like the WordCamp Europe, like it feels like everybody knows everybody. It's like you meet one person or that you know, and then that person can introduce you to like three more people,
Yeah.
and like
Yeah. It's a
snowball.
snowball. Yeah,
Yeah, it's so quick.
absolutely. It's
Yeah,
great.
it definitely makes a huge difference being in the same time zone. That's one of the hard things about being on the west coast of the U.S. is like
Yeah.
even networking with people on the East Coast here, it's like it can be difficult. So
Mm.
Yeah.
I envy you,
Yeah.
Europeans.
It's wild that you have several time zones in one country, right?
Yeah,
wild.
How many are there in the US? Like 2 or 3? Or even more than
or
that?
like 5 or something.
5,
right?
really?
Well, I
Okay.
mean, if you go all the way to Hawaii,
Yeah.
or something.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but four in the continental.
Do we
Eastern,
want to
Central, Mountain,
dive
Pacific.
into
Yeah.
day 2?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Yeah, bunch of funny pictures here. So actually, on day 1, the second person / people that recognized me were from the Edge team, and I feel bad I don't recall their names. I don't have all the names down yet. They were from Austria. They were German.
You know what
speakers.
that means, Maddie? That means you have absolutely hit celebrity status when people know you and you don't know
Right?
them.
They were like,
That's
yeah,
what
that's
that
the
means.
YouTube guy.
It's that
That's the Bridge
Congratulations.
Builders guy. That's literally what they approached me like. Bridge Builders guy. Yeah. But Brandon, you would know. Can you help me out? What would their names be?
What
Yeah,
was
let
the
me show-
context?
let me
You said they
point you
live in
to-
Munich? Or I think
I think
Tobias
it's a
is
picture.
German.
Yeah, Tobias I spoke to for quite a while. I'm not gonna enlarge this picture yet because there's 2 ladies on there whose permission I didn't get to. I mean, I don't know. I didn't ask them, so I'm not gonna bring them on the screen in full size. would be a
This guy
douche move.
takes the waivers very seriously.
Yeah,
It's the
man.
EU regulations, man.
Yeah,
We're
you
living
gotta be careful.
in GDPR country, so that's not happening.
You just have to put an emoji on their face.
Yeah.
There
Right.
you go.
Let me see here. Yeah. What is this?
Trying to think who I saw in those pictures, or just who was out there. I saw Kevin was sending me pictures of the whole team, or whatever. He told me I missed $70 steaks one day. I was pissed.
Oh my God, yeah. Like he sent me pictures from the steakhouse that they dined at. And I was like, yeah, man, the dude's living the high life. Probably sold his Florida mansion for it. But
Damn, I missed out.
European steak. Damn.
yeah.
Maybe it's-
There's a fucking pixelized filter. Come on, man.
he's live editing these photos
Yeah.
right now.
I literally just got back like just shortly before I hopped in. Like we started at 6:30 and I got home at 6:10 and Mark was already going, "Where's the link?" And I'm like, "Okay, man, fine. I'm giving it to you." So I didn't have time to pixelize pictures. So day 2. I mean, I'm not going to be able to tell everything in chronological order. Why doesn't it go rectangle when I press R?
He's got the hotkeys down.
So, question for the audience: Are you enjoying this live improv style, or would you prefer this be more scripted?
That's the $1 million question.
Be honest, like all the 4 people.
Can I,
Do they have a
can I
choice?
answer?
I appreciate every one of you. It's awesome
Good
that you're
night.
here. It's awesome that you're in this stream. Thanks for joining us, guys. Let me see.
So did we already talk about how it was a pretty small WordCamp comparatively? Is that right? That's what I kept hearing. That like the attendee was down.
Yeah, did they say how many there were there?
Yeah, it's 1,700 in the end. 1,700 something, and usually it could be like it often goes up to 3K. I'm told, something like that.
Mm.
So this is the team, and then these gentlemen here, him and him, they approached
yeah.
me.
Chris and Reinhard.
Thank you, thank you very much. Yes, Reinhard.
Yeah, they're brothers.
Oh, they're brothers. Okay, wait, can you tell?
Can you tell?
I mean, yeah, I could see it.
Okay. I'll tell
I'm
them.
I'll tell.
You're just bullshitting me. You just goaded me into saying that.
I'm just always impressed with Andrea's beard. I
Yeah,
just really want to touch it.
Yeah, did
Is it
Andrea
getting
make you
more
any
glorious
pizza?
every time?
What's that?
Is it getting more glorious every time?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Look at him.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
He's got the Tim Schafer thing where the beard is the first thing to go gray. I have the same thing. If my hair wasn't gone, it would still be dark. But I mean, it's gone anyway. So
Yeah, my beard's getting a little gray too.
yeah,
Such is life.
such is life. All right, let's see, guys. So let's go with some photos. Yeah, that's Matthias. Okay, that's pretty cool. So beforehand, okay, I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of context for this. So in Saarbrücken, we have a WordPress meetup that usually draws like 10 people or so, and the guy that runs it, his name is Marcus. He and I we got into a fairly good exchange, like because I did a couple of talks for that meetup, and the meetup's pretty young. Like it started in about a year ago, like in April, I think, last year. And there've been like 3 or 4 of them. So he tries to do them every 3 months. But then this year he was like, eventually he contacted me and was like, I don't have time to do this. Do you want to take over? So now I'm doing the Saarbrücken meetup, and I'm actually running my first Saarbrücken, or my first meetup, my first WordPress meetup on July 3rd.
Oh, congrats.
And thank you very much.
Oh yeah.
And so then when I asked Marcus, are you guys going, or is any of you going to, because he runs a hosting company, and he's like, are you going, or is anybody from the company going? He was like, yeah, well, Matthias is going, who's a colleague of Marcus's, and he also lives in Switzerland, so that just made sense, right? Oh, Lex is here. Hey, Lex, nice to see you, buddy.
What up,
Thanks
Lex?
for joining us.
Is that an in-person meetup that you're doing?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
In Saarbrücken is like, it has like 200K people. So having 10 people show up, or 15 sometimes even, for a WordPress meetup, I believe is actually pretty good.
Dude, that's awesome. The
Yeah.
San Diego's like 2 million people, and we get like 1. So
Really? Shit, man. I went to WordPress meetups in Montreal and they were crammed. I mean, not crammed, but it was easily several dozen people.
It's always pre-COVID, post-COVID, right? Munich
That's
had like
true.
one,
That was
Vienna too.
pre-COVID. Yeah.
Yeah, like Munich now, like I think it didn't take place since a year, and like Vienna has like 5 people or so. So like the smaller meetups actually have more people.
Hmm. So perhaps they're just still reeling. It could be that. I mean, I haven't been to I've been to Montreal, but I haven't checked out the WordPress meetup there since COVID. But yeah, so I ended up meeting up with Matthias here, which was really nice. And so get this, like Matthias and I, we bounced messages back and forth, and then we missed each other a couple of times, and he had something to do and I had something to do with, and then eventually it worked out. And then I met up with him, and we met up at the entrance of the conference center. And he was like, "Hey, so what do we do?" And I was like, "Well, let's go get a drink." And then we walked over to a bar across the street. And who's there? Mark and Sarah from Grade. And next thing,
Sandra, you mean?
Sandra,
Sandra.
sorry,
Yeah,
my bad.
yeah.
Exactly, Sandra. And so I was like, "Hey, how's it going, guys?" And Matthias was like, "Hey, how's it going, guys?" So he knows them. And it's just like, it's such a fucking small community. Everybody knows everybody, right? So they knew him, and then turns out he knows Anya, because they've been old friends. And then that's why we took this photo. I sent it to Anya, and I was like, he says hi, and Anya was happy about that. It's like everybody's connected. I like that. Although I think, I mean, there's thousands and thousands of people in WordPress, right? If you were to define something like a WordPress world, it's huge. But I guess the people who kind of make a splash is not the right word, but that kind of have a profile in WordPress that are kind of recognizable, there's not that many, right? And so that circle, you kind of explore it pretty quickly. It feels like, I mean, it's early days, but that's sort of the vibe I'm getting at this point. So I met up with him. We had a really nice conversation, and then I saw him again, like as I was leaving on yesterday afternoon. Like I was literally leaving the building to go home, and he was the last person I ran into. And I was like, "Oh, good. I wanted to say goodbye to you one more time." And yeah, so I took a photo with him. It was a really hot waitress in that place, so that was good. And
Wait, what?
in this place, yeah, the waitress. This
I don't
place,
think that's GDPR.
This is not going to go anywhere, right? This is.
It's just an observation, man.
Cut that part.
This is absolutely not live right now.
No.
It's on the
She
internet.
was very nice. She was very nice.
He did say hot, right? I heard that right?
Yes, I did say
HOT?
that.
Oh, okay.
We're very progressive with.
I'm
relationships.
European. We can do that.
Yeah. It's a European thing.
Yeah, but you're German, not French.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't have. Yeah. It's like, it's a
Redact.
statute. Like you have, I think I get like, as being German, I get to do that like 3 times a day, and the
You have a
French
couple
get
passes,
like 7
yeah.
or so.
Damn.
Yeah.
3 times a day.
Then I ran into Raquel, and we had a really, like I said, like this conversation with Raquel was really great. Like actually, I saw her on the first day. I was sitting there with my laptop again. Right? I did try to do some work, and then I glanced over and I saw her sitting there, and I was like, "That's probably Raquel." And then I just got up and left. I was like, I'm going to probably run into her again.
She really is one of the nicest people. Just like so
Yeah.
So
bubbly.
nice. Yeah. And I mean, you've like, anybody met her in person?
Yeah, at WordCamp.
Yeah.
You
WordCamp
met her
was
in person as well. Yeah. Okay. So it was a really nice conversation that I had with her. Hang on, let me bring this up here.
And obviously, I mean, she was at press conf, right? But I mean, I don't know like how much she's like behind the scenes and people aren't really seeing her, but
It's her. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
her thing for press.
Yeah.
conf, yeah.
she was
So,
out there and you were talking with her and stuff. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. And I mean,
Yeah,
she
yeah.
reiterated, and I believe she said that on the talk that you had with her recently, Mark, that she's no longer affiliated with Divi at this point.
Yeah, she's
And
doing her own. Yeah, she's doing her own thing.
she's
Wonderland
doing her
Curious.
own thing now, and she's doing events, and she's making a massive point that these events. Well, first of all, they they should be WordPress related. They don't have to be, but she's trying to focus on doing WordPress related events, event management, event setup, event planning, and they have to be in person. Nothing online, but just getting people together in real life. And I'm so behind that. I mean, obviously, this whole just being there at WordCamp and just breathing there and taking it all in and meeting people in person. Obviously, that's a massive difference, right? And just for us, digital nomads / nerds, sitting at home all the time or behind our laptops in some cafe, it's a wonderful lifestyle that we have chosen, or that also the times that we live in afford us. But it's easy to lose sight of how important it is to just be around people. Like it makes such a massive difference. And yeah, like, and you have the privilege to, like, at WordCamp to meet people as vibrant as Raquel, for instance, right? So that's really nice. Let's see what else. So I wrote to Kevin and I was like, so you're here. That's nice. Cool. Do you have a packed schedule or what? And he's like, no, we're just drifting around. So if you see me, just say hello. And in the end, I saw him and the Edge team sitting at a table. And I was like, well, nice. There they are. And I just walked up and I shook Kevin's hand and everybody's hand. And just, we gave each other a hug and how's it going? And it was great. Like, it was really, really wonderful meeting him in person and also just meeting the entire team. They're great. They're really great guys. And you'd think, like, with Kevin being sort of a celebrity, it's like, is he, and you asked that, Brendan, right? Like, is he as intimidating in real life as he is online? And I, like, what did I say? I was like, yeah, he's wearing a bear skull as a belt buckle. So yeah, he's more intimidating, which then prompted Brendan to do this. And Brendan was like,
the prompt was not really working too hot.
Yeah, no, right? Because like I want to see that bear. Like you were like, I don't know why ChatGPT turned you into an actual Viking, Matt, but it is what it is.
Yeah, Kevin's still in his t-shirt and
and
it made you into an actual Viking.
But it also, there's no more edge on the t-shirt. It's just so random. Like why remove that?
Yeah.
Like why? Yeah.
Yeah.
We need better. We need better AI.
Yeah, we need better AI.
It was a whim, all right. 1 second prompt.
Oh, it worked. I sent it to Kevin and I was like, so this is what Brandon is doing while he should be working for you.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, great.
So expect some backlash.
That was quite impressive as well, with like the Edge shirts, like the whole team, like I think 11 people, like all walking through with the Edge shirts, like a football team in a way, like quite impressive presence.
You could totally, you could make them out from in the crowd, right? Even though there was no booth, you could see them, like they were very visible.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
And like there were a lot of branded shirts around, but like the Elementor shirts, they were just pink shirts, and then you kind of needed good glasses to realize that's Elementor. I mean, the pink is a giveaway, but still, and Edge you could tell, right? Like that was very clearly visible.
Yeah. Yellow for great, green for side, and I think like that's like the popping ones.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. And then the side guy with the hat. Forgetting his name.
Robert.
Thank you. Do you know his last name?
I should.
Right?
LinkedIn, Robert. Windisch.
There he is.
Democratized public. That's always.
There's the disembodied hat.
He had a. Oh.
Yeah, there's like, and he's also one of the first people. Like, also at CloudFest, he's like, you just see him. He's just is just very, very recognizable. I don't know who that is and what they're doing there, but yeah.
Some other guy.
What are they doing at? Yeah. So what else do we have from that day?
Did I send you the photo from the alt event?
Yes, you did. Oh yeah, I did. I forgot to save that. Hang on, let me get that.
Yeah. Because that kind of shows the vibe, right? Like history being made.
And I mean, just the fact that it was literally underground. I thought that was awesome.
It's like we are protected.
Let me get that photo. I mean, why don't we jump to that event right now? And then
Yeah.
I can go back and talk about other parts of the day after that. But I think that event is an important thing.
And the
Oliver, do you want to
right?
take over for me there? Do you want to tell me your expressions?
Sure. Yeah. Like from all the side events, like most were booked out quite quickly, or I think like some of the side events also did like waiting lists to kind of select whom they want to let in. And like the odd one was quite in demand. And I think they had like a waiting list of like 150 people. And we already heard some rumors. So it was kind of like, okay, like something is going on, like something is gonna happen around there. And we were like, okay, like what is it gonna be? Like what's the next WordPress drama for this year?
Yeah.
And we were like, we want to be there. So we were like, maybe we can like sneak into the event or like find a way in, kind of fitting the theme. And like we did end up going there like a bit later, like I think after like 1 hour, 1.5 hours after it started. And we actually got in like the regular way, just got a band. They were like, do you want to be photographed? And like they had those things you can
oh right, yeah. You had to give consent.
Exactly. Or you can how's it like unsubscribe from from photos, because they were like some of the people joining, they want to keep their privacy.
Yeah, exactly. And you actually got you got a sign that you could hold up, and it's like no photos.
Exactly. And we got in and like kind of I think we came in halfway, right? Like already like a
Not
huge
even,
part
I
was
would say,
going on.
like there was like 20 minutes left of a 3-hour event, I believe, give or take. Like we actually caught the tail end of it.
Yeah.
So it was like we just jumped into no context, and I was like, "What? I don't know what they're talking about, but it seems like what I was thinking it would be."
And yeah, like Joost was on stage, and like some other folks, and like we asked like some people from the room, like, "Hey, what is going on?" And like I think you also asked Kevin, right? He already knew. Like he already knew.
Funny. Oh yeah, I got. Okay, I'm gonna talk about that for just a second. It's like, I was sitting at the event, right, and then they were like, "So this is backed by the Linux Foundation." No, wait, they had dropped that bit of info before we came in, but the guys behind us told us that this is backed by the Linux Foundation. And in a moment, we're going to get into what this is and what they. Okay, hang on, you hear us in the background? I'm just going to close the door, just a second.
Momentary pause. Yeah, this fair thing's very interesting.
This is the same thing as the Linux Foundation announcement, though. This is like the organization.
This is the thing. Yeah.
Okay,
this is the
thing.
thing
I thought
that
for some reason they were two separate.
Yeah. I mean, well, All Control is the event that it happened at. But then there's
All Control org. Yeah.
Cool.
So I was sitting there at the event, and then I wrote to Kevin, and I was like, "There's still room at All Control org where you're at." And he sent me a photo from the steakhouse, and he's like, "Dinner." And I was like, "Okay." And then I took a moment, and then I sent him a message that said, "Apparently, this is backed by the Linux Foundation." And he's like, "Yeah, I know. I read the article." And I was like, "What fucking article? How the fuck does Kevin like know things so quickly?" And then he sent me the article, and that was a coordinated thing. Like, I mean, it turned out that this thing that the fair initiative that they were launching that night, they were announcing to the world that night, had been built in secret for the past, I don't know, 6 months or several months. And the article was prepared. They just dropped it right when the event started. The article went live. So there's, for those who haven't seen it, I'm going to bring it on screen.
In marketing of a new rebellion.
Yeah. Do I have the link? Where do I have the link?
I just sent you the link also in the.
Yeah, I got it here.
Chat. Okay.
Thanks. I just need to bring it up here. No, wait, I don't have it here. Okay, I'm going to look in the chat.
I think you also sent it to me.
Thanks, Brendan. I got it. linuxfoundation.org. Oh, so that's one. Okay, this article, and then so there's even several. I mean, at this point, there's several anyway.
Yeah,
but the one
repository tweeted about it too.
Yeah, repository was the one we got.
Exactly. Oliver, I kind of cut you off anyway. Go ahead.
Yeah,
You were saying we were talking to the Finnish people behind us, right?
Exactly. Like from that was also interesting. Like these two, they were like, we are doing like our own meetup, like independent of like the WordPress Foundation, kind of like self-organized, and like they do have like some sponsors. It's like a Finnish hosting company. And yeah, like from the meetup, or like from the event itself, I think it was like very like cheerful vibe, like kind of like, hey, we're making something happen. And
Yeah.
like it's I was really surprised like the next day, like also with the questions then at the fireside meeting. It was kind of like like especially the first lady, like
The
that asked
first
the question.
lady, she went fire and brimstone, man.
Yeah, she was like, you know about like this new initiative, like let me give you like a brief summary.
Yeah,
Like
let
just
me
spit
give
it
you
out,
the
like,
gist, you moron. Sort of what she said. I'm paraphrasing slightly.
yeah.
But yeah, so this is the article. It's on the repository.email. You know, I'm going to paste it in the chat as well.
Yeah, like I think it felt kind of official, but it was like unofficial side event. But I think like so many people from the event were there, and like they had those like little banner badges that you can also wear. Um, did you see many people like the next day with like the like it's like a waipu, right? Like the
Yeah, they have their own waipu, which is like a counter waipu. And no, actually, I didn't see. I wasn't paying attention to it. I wasn't specifically looking for it either, but it didn't jump out at me too. Like,
okay, not too
I don't think
many.
many people were wearing it. But so just to really quickly summarize, so the FAIR project, that's what it's called, and it's clearly a case of we came up with the acronym first and then thought of what name, what words would fit there, because there's no way I can. Let me see, federated and independent repositories. I mean, I guess but supported by the Linux Foundations and as many as 300 contributors, aims to decentralize WordPress services and empower users. So it's an alternate repository, an alternative to WordPress.org, which, as this article points out, hang on, let me say that at the end, like it makes it very clear that the other thing is
That's funny
a
that there's
site
other
owned
news.
and controlled by WordPress co-founder Matt Mullenweg, right? Like keyword being controlled, and yeah, so that's what they kind of want to raise an alternative to. And interestingly enough, it's not just going to be for like a repository for WordPress plugins, but also for you can put anything on there, right? Like it's open source, community driven. It's got a GitHub, and you could put Drupal plugins or whatever Drupal uses on there. I guess you could host Linux apps on it and whatnot. So to me, like my first gut reaction was, okay, it's more fragmentation. Which, I mean, having been a Linux user for 16 years, like I started with Ubuntu and then went to Linux Mint, which is basically Ubuntu with a coat of paint. And it's like it used to be just you got your apps from repositories, like the repository or PPAs that you could add. And then there was Flatpak came up, and then there's app image, then there's Snap, and now there's all these different distribution methods, right? And it feels more fragmented. So like coming from that, or living in the Linux environment, I kind of have that feeling that this fragmentation gives us more choice, but also makes things more complicated. And I'm sort of worried that this is where this might lead as well. First of all, yes, they got massive backing from the Linux Foundation. That's great. And it's like 300 people working on it or contributing to it. That's great too. But then at the same time, like they're gonna, like if it's supposed to become an alternative, or at least a repo worth considering in addition to WordPress.org, that's a massive task to achieve. That's a massive thing to try and do, right? Firstly, and secondly, I don't know, I lost my train of thought. But firstly that.
Well, I'll jump in there, and it's like, and this is partly that I'm getting clarification too, because I'm not super up to date with it. But are there hosts on board? Because without hosts,
right,
it seems like it would be dead on arrival, because it requires a plugin to do it all.
That's it. Well, definitely. Well, so in terms of plugin, it will be actually a plugin, which is another thing, right? Like how many people who install WordPress are going to know that also they need to install or can install this plugin, this Fair plugin, to then use an alternate repo? That's like,
that's what
that
I'm
feels
saying.
like a
Like
lot of steps.
the hosts that provide hosting, right? They would need to probably make it a must-use plugin and install it on
Yes.
every new application,
Yeah,
which requires, getting GoDaddy, Bluehost
that's
on
right.
board.
That's right. And I don't believe that's happening yet. Oliver,
No,
have you
yeah.
heard any? Right?
No, like there were some ideas also like that it can be bundled. Like for example, if you install like Yoast SEO, then also it could be bundled together with like the Fair repo. So it's like, okay, like thank you for installing Yoast. You also want to install the Fair repo.
Mhm.
Here are like the benefits for it, like something like that. And also that like premium plugins can also run through it. That was like another idea. So you can kind of like not just free, but also premium, because like currently there's no distribution for premium plugins in the WordPress repo. So it's kind of also like, how can the existing system be not just not just create like an alternative, but actually make some things even better on top of that. I wonder like what's the reaction from like other providers for it, like Freemios or something like that, because they already provide like the whole distributions for plugins, right? Like you have
Yeah.
the checkout, you have like an update mechanism for the premium plugins. But I think definitely it creates leverage, especially if there's enough plugins. So I think it's a good thing to have like a bit of a balance in the ecosystem.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it does. It's just seed sprouting, right? And there's going to be more of that because of the kind of rifts that are going through the community. There's going to be more stuff just coming up. I believe I ended up, I don't know if it was with you, Oliver, or somebody else. I ended up talking about other initiatives that have started to spring up, and in the end, there's going to have to be some sort of coming together. Otherwise, it's just going to be fragmented cells just floating in space, and then it's good that it's happening. I'm going to say this much, but we need to we really need to see where it goes. And I know I mean I haven't checked like forums or WordPress related Facebook groups or anything like that, but I couldn't tell you if there's now a lot of chatter about this. Like
I've seen on LinkedIn like there's some people here and there like in the LinkedIn groups or like individual posts like, hey, this initiative is happening.
mhm.
I think it's really cool that also like the other open source systems are a part of it. So like that gives you more leverage for building it out, like creating
Right.
features. Like I think Typo 3 or was it Drupal as well? Like those systems are also included. So I think this also gives it like some leverage, like to what features can we build out.
Mhm.
And like Matt Mullenweg's reaction was also like, okay, like do you know what undertaking you're like, or what mission you're undertaking? It was very interesting. He was like sharing some numbers, like I think with several billion of requests that like the
Yeah,
WordPress repo is getting, and like the numbers, 4 terabytes of like plugins that they have stored or something like that. I think it's quite a big feat, quite a big mission
that's
to
the
take
thing. Yeah,
on.
he kind of also mentioned like things that need to happen or that need to be taken into account, like security and quality assurance and all
Mhm.
that. Like there's a lot of manpower and a lot of technology that needs to go into it, and a lot of system and structure
Yeah,
until this gets on par with WordPress.org, right? So yeah,
exactly. He
and
also
clearly, I
shared
mean,
that like
yeah, he also said, well, I'm a bit saddened. Like he only learned about it yesterday night, or like he said yesterday night, so Friday night, which obviously that's what happened. So he was like, well, they did it in private or like behind closed doors, and now they brought it out to the world. And he kind of said, yeah, I want to. If there's an opportunity to work together on this, we will.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just so we know too, I don't think this part was extremely well marketed because I didn't know about it until after and I haven't watched it. But that event was 3.5 hours, and I just dropped the link in the private chat if you want to repost it, Maddie.
yes,
It's literally you could watch that whole thing that you guys went to, that you caught the end of. You could watch the whole thing on YouTube.
and yeah, exactly. I know it was being streamed. Thank you for sharing that because I was going to look it up and I haven't yet. And it's yeah, I need to sit through the whole thing and I need to figure to take a look at it. Let me bring that up. Yeah, there you can see the waipu right at the beginning of the stream.
It's interesting as an approach to only let him know like in the day, or like only release it in public then. But I think it's kind of like with last year, it's kind of needed to first build it like this. There was also like the question, like it was very direct from the first question person. I was like, okay, do you want to take it on as a system? Like it was kind of like right then and there. It was like, of course, the answer was
putting
like,
him
no.
on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Like here is the pitch. Like you find out about it now. Do you want to invest? Do you want to take it on?
Yeah. And he was like, well, that's a bit early.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Like, I really think if you go and rewatch that part of the fireside chat, which also you're going to be able to find on YouTube, you'll see he was really graceful about it. Like, no douchiness. So perhaps that's still coming. I don't know. But that was great. Like overall,
let's wait till WordCamp US.
Yeah, perhaps. Okay. So I think that would be what we all of us have to say about this for now, right?
Yeah.
Unless
it's very early. I mean, yeah, see how, like these guys said, how distribution and adoption goes. One thing I'll cite, the only other thing, obviously, look at the article, watch the stream. If you want other thoughts, I listened to Matt Medeiros' take. He had like 25 minutes on it over on the WP Minute channel that, from his perspective, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more people kind of, commenting on it as well. So, but honestly, it's like one of those things. It's just time is going to tell like what happens. So,
yeah.
Yep.
So what else? What else happened during that day? So I have notes here as well. So let's see. I talked to Google. Yeah, I mean, I did go to several booths on both days, of course, on all 3 days. So this is a party that I'm very late to, but I found out about Google Sitekit, which is probably a very embarrassing thing to admit. But yeah, there's a thing called Google Sitekit. It's a WordPress plugin that you can use to just implement all the kinds of crazy Google services in an easy and accessible manner. And it's much nicer than just trying to tag manager shit, or like trying to implement snippets using WP Codebox. So that was nice. Obviously, there was a shitload of swag everywhere, but that's not surprising. One thing I really like. Sorry,
where's the swag? I want to see the swag.
Oh yeah, I have some swag. So let me see. There's this, and then there's that. Okay, Elementor. You gotta hand it to them. Also, that's funny. Okay, I'm going to talk about Elementor. You gotta hand it to them. They have this Polaroid camera, right? And then there's like this Elementor lady that was just taking photos with everybody. So I have a nice Polaroid.
It's 1994.
Yeah, exactly. It was cute, man. It was really nice. And then there was a shitload of raffles. So I have all the raffle tickets, and then I didn't bother to go to any of them. Probably I won all of them. So. And then, of course, there's all these stickers that you got to pick up, and I have a shitload of. Hang on, let me see if I can just put it up to the camera. I have it all on my table, but I mean, I tried not to take too much swag with me because it just ends up in the trash anyway. So there's like a key benefits thing for what is this anyway? Weeklot, yeah. So I looked into Weeklot, and then there's raffle tickets here. There's 50% off that I got from Mark for
your raffle ticket number was
this is
777.
777.
Lucky number 7, and you didn't.
You absolutely had to have won that one.
I definitely won that one, and this is my thing. My
attaboy, you gotta keep all
badge.
Those.
Now hold up your
card. This is from Mark WF form.
Now hold up your credit card.
Sorry, what?
I said, hold up your credit card, please.
There's the photo and bunch more stuff. There's more. Yeah, there's from the Weeklot people. I'm looking for a good multilingual. I mean, Translate Press seems kind of cool. I tinkered around with WPML for a bit in the past, just on different multilingual websites, right? But most of the time when I did multilingual websites, I was using Polylang, and it's not much fun.
So WPML here, like it works reasonably well with bricks. Like I think some set up things in the beginning on some sites, but altogether
it does a decent enough job. But it could be it could be better. Like especially I built with Anya. I built this massive ordering system, like translations order system, using BricsForge. And then with BricsForge, I pulled in stuff like repeaters and all kinds of dynamic data and conditional logic and all that using ACF. And WPML is really struggling with that. You need to you can translate the fields, but like it's tricky, but it's doable with WPML. So there's that.
Yeah, I think there's also like an extension for ACF WPML extension.
Yeah, it's included in WPML.
Okay, but also with that, it was like a bit of a struggle still.
Yeah, indeed. Oh. So I've got some Kinsta stuff. I don't know what that even is. What is that? Why promote Kinsta? Yeah, I don't know why to promote Kinsta, so I'm not going to. And then there's that one was nice. I just saw that lying around and I picked it up, the WCLI cheat sheet from by CloudPress.
Oh, dude, I need that.
That's nice. Cool. If I'm ever, I can scan it for you and send it to you if you like. If ever I'm going to do some WPCLI, which I never looked into, this is going to come in handy. And I like this. I really like this human bingo. So this one dude came up to me and he was like, hey, how much of this applies to you, right? And here, hang on. You know what? I'm going to bring up the photo because it's on the photo. And so basically you get, and Google was doing this, right? You get a bingo thing that you can walk around and just ask people, and it's an icebreaker, right? And I love that. I love that idea because I'm going to do that at parties and stuff, right? Like,
doesn't Google already know everything about us?
Sorry? Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, you give it to Google then, right? With your name on it. But it's like, has a standing desk, is left-handed, has visited the tingly fountain. And there's like a whole lot of shit that you need to bring up. Lex is saying, awesome WCU, I need to go next year. Find a way to get sponsored to go to WCUS. Right? Can name a Swiss chocolate brand. Doesn't play video games. That's hard. But yeah, like out of all these, like to me, it's like I have a standing desk. I don't know what the Tingly Fountain is. I'm not a full-time WordPress developer. I guess if you call using Bricks development, then yes. Is attending their first WordCamp? Yes. Has tried Leckerli, Basel's famous biscuit? No. Has attended more than 3 WordCamps? No. Can name a Swiss chocolate brand?
Toblerone.
Really? Oh yeah, shit.
It's actually Swiss, but
that's Swiss, right? Develops WordPress plugins? No. And I mean, you guys, you know what? I'm going to bring you on screen. Raise your hand if that applies to you. Standing desk?
Standing desk.
Improvised.
Left, yeah, everybody does. Left-handed?
No.
Raise your right hand. Has visited the Tingly Fountain. I don't know what that is. Full-time WordPress developer. First WordCamp. Leckerli. Has attended more than 3 WordCamps? No, right? None of them.
Yeah. Actually,
you have? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, like the local ones. Like 2 times WordCamp Vienna, like 1 time as organizer, and then like the Athens and Manila and Basel. So
nice.
5.
Good.
And Karlsruhe. Like there's so many like smaller WordCamps in around Europe, like Central Europe. Just a day or something.
I'm going to start keeping an eye on this, definitely.
Yeah. It's more community. Like I feel the big one is like more business, still community, but like the smaller ones, like 100, 200 people is even more community focus.
Can name a Swiss chocolate brand. We had that. Develops WordPress plugins. No, nobody. Has walked through Basel's Old Town, Altstadt. I mean, I wanted to.
Which plugin do you develop, Brendan?
Well, I've made ones with AI.
Oh,
okay. He's a vibe coder.
Vibe coder, right? No, I mean I've built some like just simple ones, but nothing. I don't sell anything.
That's cool. Yeah.
Can name a neighboring country of Switzerland. That one's possible. Yeah, for sure.
Ooh.
France is one. Knows the colors of the Swiss flag. That's pretty easy. Red and white. Has floated down the Rhine with a wickelfish. No, I don't know what that is.
Oh, that's
yeah, I did that last Sunday. I'm just kidding.
Wait, what?
I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
Actually, it's swimming in the river. So, like, they have those things where you can put in your stuff, and like they look like fish, and then you wrap it up, and then like a water bag, and then you just swim in the river.
So you put your belongings in a thing that then floats down the river? That sounds like fun to me.
Put in like your MacBook and then hope afterwards it's still there.
See who picks it up.
No backup.
Has never had Swiss fondue. Yeah, I mean, no, I have had Swiss fondue. Has visited Basel and Münster. Has never broken a bone. Does that include other people's bones or?
Oh.
Can play an instrument? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I had piano lessons. That doesn't mean I can play it, but I had lessons. Is wearing WordPress apparel? No. I do own WordPress socks, so I got them in Montreal at one of the meetups. Has eaten Swiss chocolate? Yes, totally wrong. Has installed Sidekit? No, but I will. Doesn't play video games.
I've uninstalled it.
So is it shit?
God.
Do you reckon?
It's okay.
It's okay. Okay.
It's easy to use. No, it's.
It makes things easier.
Yeah.
If you're not well versed in the Google UI conundrums that they have on all their products, then SiteKit's great.
Conundrums is putting it mildly. It's a fucking desert. I mean, it's like a 747 cockpit, and like I'm a German student, like a language.
I've been getting back into Google Ads lately, and I hate it with just the utmost passion.
What again?
Google Ads.
Google Ads. Yeah, I don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole. I know people who do that, and that's all I need. Is visiting Switzerland for the first time? That would be a no for me. I've been there. Doesn't drink coffee. Actually, yes, I don't drink coffee.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark, you don't drink coffee.
Oh, you don't drink coffee either, Matt.
Yeah, no, I don't drink coffee. No.
Oh.
I tried twice. I hated it both times.
You drink tea?
Yes. Daily.
Yeah, I don't drink tea. No caffeine.
Yeah.
Or what's your go-to?
I drink tea without caffeine. I drink like herbal tea and like
it's got them herbs.
Fruit tea. Speaks more than 3 languages. Like if you include HTML and CSS, then yes.
Hell yeah.
So yeah,
I only got one.
That's the human bingo card. So next time you guys host a party, or just fucking go to a party, and you just make one of these, and you just print it.
Just
10
use
times.
that one. Nobody's gonna say anything.
Yeah,
random.
That might be like if you just go to a random ass party, like a house party or something. That might not be the best one.
Like they're like, what are WordPress socks? What do you? What?
Yeah. Have you had
Lickerly?
Have you had Lickerly? Have you rode down the river in the Wickle Pit?
Have you ever tickled Wahoo? What?
That's both an icebreaker and a conversation ender. So
people are going to be remembering you forever.
Exactly.
There's going to be stories at the next
don't
party.
even need to wear a hat.
Party host is this? It's crazy.
Dave then says, "I take coffee once in a while, but not black." Okay.
Ooh.
See, there we go. So it's, you know what? There's more people that don't drink that much coffee than you would normally expect. Need to go next year. Oh yeah, we had that. Lexman, we need to meet. This is like all of the people in the chat. We need to meet, guys. So what else do we have? Yeah, that's a great team.
Look at you.
Oh, speaking of swag.
Look at that pose, dude.
Look at that swag.
He's got that.
You're doing line dance or like dancing?
That's like
a line dance.
Traditional German dance.
It's a traditional German pose, yeah. In the next frame, I'm slapping my hands on my thighs.
I just need you in lederhosen now.
You don't need that. You really don't. You think you do. Then I took another photo with Matthias again. That was when I left, and so that day, let me show you. Yeah,
you're quite a photogenic man, Matty. I must say.
Thank you kindly, sir. I appreciate that. So this is like literally when you come in, you get like the reception entrance type of thing here. Wait, stay. Then you go up those stairs. Again, I apologize. There's no sound, but really, like all you hear is just chatter in the background. So.
Oh, it's so loud. Like when you're in the main hall, it's just like so.
It just really, yeah. As soon as you go up the escalator, it just goes louder and louder and louder.
Yeah. Like talking with people then is fine, but like when you're just walking through, it's just like so much everywhere.
Yeah. And yeah, in this video, this is from day 3. So from here, I went straight to the space where the that was the morning of the 3rd day. So you just turn right, and then you go through this like tunnel type of thing, which connects you to the part where the talks are, where the big rooms are for the talk. Sorry, what?
Are you holding your phone up with this, or do you have a stick, or what?
No, it's a phone. It's just a phone.
Just holding it above your head?
Yeah.
Basically. That's sick.
Nice.
I'm just envisioning the POV.
You do what you got to do, man.
I mean, you're a vlogger now. You have to do this. You're a celebrity.
I know. I need to. I actually
I did this through an airport. I'm laughing with you, not at you.
Okay, good.
Although you did this in GDPR country, so these guys are coming for you.
Oh yeah, that's true.
No, at least he didn't live stream it though.
Yeah. No, that would be stupid.
Did you do talking
sick,
real at the airport, Mark?
I put it like on my chest. I had it was like a vlog from the press conf or whatever.
I saw people walking around with cameras on their chests too.
Yeah. Like if you keep doing this, you gotta
that wall that I
that.
photographed at first.
Look at that.
Then there's like there's a lineup for food. Then
this is massive.
This is like better laid out and bigger than Portland was. I feel
there's
like
Kevin,
this is like
this is like that.
he's hey Kevin.
No, I actually
right there. And
I moved the camera because he waved at me, and then I saw him, and then I swung the camera over.
He's like, I want no part of this vlog. Holy shit! Does that say San Francisco? Oh, now we're in San Francisco. He walked all the way to San Francisco.
Yeah. That's that big room was San Francisco. That's where the Matt Mullenweg thing ended up going down. And then below this, there are 2 more rooms where there were more talks, right? But yeah, I attended almost none of them.
Goes to Switzerland, and the rooms are named American cities.
Right?
I like that.
I thought that was disorienting.
What are we gonna name these? I can't do a Swiss accent, but what are we gonna name these?
Here's an overview of the main. This is the main floor with the booths.
Booth. I hear something now.
TH. Yeah, it's pretty crowded.
There's audio in this one. Am I crazy?
You hear the audio? You probably just hear it echoing from my speakers.
Yeah, it doesn't sound great.
Yost got a booth. They're back.
Yeah.
We'll get you a gimbal for next time. Then you'll be a real serious vlogger. This will be buttery smooth.
Yeah. I'm gonna pick your brain. So yeah,
honestly, Maddie, in all seriousness, I'm really, really happy for you, dude. Because I know you've been in WordPress for a long time, and I'm happy that we've all been able to build, different channels and community stuff here. And now you're popping to these events, and you're being extremely photogenic and all these photos.
I really feel like we're in this together, guys. That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah, I'm stoked. This is fucking sick.
I'm jealous of the energy you come back with too. I just remember.
Oh yeah,
you feel so invigorated, and you're like, "Let's stream it." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I'm happy for you. That's awesome.
Yeah,
that is. I think that's kind of the big takeaway, though. I feel like what Brennan just said there is for me, anytime when I went to PressConf, when I went to WordCamp, CloudFest, wherever, it's being with people that are of your same kind of mindset and things that you do. You really do come back like how Maddie is right now, and you have that.
You're invigorated.
That's what it's honestly. You need that once in a while, at least once a year, to keep pushing you to keep doing more and diving in. Because without it, I don't think you could still do it. I mean, some people, but I just feel like it
takes it to another level. Yeah. After 7 years or whatnot, 6-7 years of more than 7 of just being a freelancer using WordPress, like a year ago. I mean, kind of when we started doing when we started working together, Mark, and then shortly after Brendan, that's sort of when it started. Well, I guess even a little before that, with Kevin's first, when I started watching PB 101 and then joined the Inner Circle. I guess that was the starting point, and then the big boost was when we started Bridge Builders. And from there, there's been this trajectory that just took everything to another level for me. And Oliver, with you having been on so many real life events, I'm sure you can relate to how this just changes the way you exist with WordPress and inside the WordPress world, right? and how you
real.
approach your job.
Yeah, like you meet the people from the plugins. It's like
Right? Yeah.
it's wild. Like you first use it just with a screen, and then like you're there in person. Or it's like, oh, like this is actually a person behind it.
Right.
Like
Exactly.
meeting Mark and like Kevin, and like it's just really cool when you see like the people behind it, and it's like yeah, and seeing people again and again, because there's so many meetups, and like it's really like the same people pretty much like that come each year. And so you have like a reunion in a way. It's like, okay, like how's it going after a year, or like after half a year?
Exactly. Yeah, you can reconnect. So one of the funniest video. Well, first of all, I have this. Like, this is just a thing at the entrance where people could take photos. And like by the end of day 3, this was full of signatures and scribblings and stuff. And then Kevin went to the speed build, and he took a video of that. And wait, why the fuck is it upside down? Oh my god! Hang on, how do I turn this? Do it so large. Oh, that's sad.
It's right side up
do another. Got to do another.
I have like edit. four or 5 players installed, so one of them is gonna
turn around the computer.
Yeah. So he just zoomed in. No, like
bonjour.
That's the website they were doing.
That's how you say it in American. Buongiorno.
I'm not a lip reader, but I got that one.
I think he said, "I love that."
I think he said, "What the fuck?"
I love this. I think he really said, "I love this."
I love
this.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it was "What the fuck." That's fucking great.
Who was building this time? Like Jamie moderating?
Jamie, I don't even know who was building it. I don't know.
How did they achieve the sliding logos?
I have no idea. Like I haven't seen it. I wasn't there, and I don't know if I'm going to watch it on YouTube.
Skipped out.
Yeah. I was sitting outside of it, and then all of a sudden, this giant mob started pouring out of that room, and I was like, "Well, I guess something just ended." And then somebody told me it was a speed build, and I was like, "Oh fuck! You know what? I would have liked to see that, but I didn't." But Kevin's reaction was glorious. It was fantastic.
Well, Mark and I got to heckle Brian Cords as he built at the WordCamp.
Yeah. Nice.
Oh yeah, that was great. Yeah, that was an all-timer. Yeah.
Oh, Dave then says, unfortunately, the speed build wasn't recorded, if I remember correctly. Well, with that website, it was like Comic Sans Bold. I mean, it felt like Comic Sans Bold. It probably wasn't that, but yeah. Elementor has an AI. Okay, so I'm going to talk some more about Elementor. That was really funny. I was being a bit of a douche, but I was also genuinely interested. So I walked up to their booth, and then I took a photo and took a little bit of swag and stuff like that. And then I was like, I didn't even know what I was going to ask them. I just approached this one lady, and I was like, so I'm not going to buy Elementor. I'm a bit user.
Right away.
I might start using Edge, just so you know. But I'm still curious about you guys. Like, what have you been up to? What's going on in Elementor land? And I want to learn a little bit what you're doing. And there's always a chance that I'm going to take on a website that somebody else has built with Elementor, and I want to see. And since I know that they kind of heard the bang, and they're now hustling to bring variables and class management and all that stuff to the UI, and cleaning up their code and cleaning up the performance. So that it's exciting times probably in Elementor world. And like them or not, they're a huge part of the WordPress ecosystem, and they're also one of the reasons, which is a line I stole from Kevin, but it makes a whole lot of sense, that WordPress is where it is today, right? And I told them that. I told the lady, you guys are the reason why there's that 43% number now, because like WordPress page builders like Elementor and its brethren and its sisters are, that's what brought people into the fold, like masses of people. And she was like, well, I had nothing to do with that, but I'll pass it on. But yeah, and so she showed me a little bit about what Elementor has been doing, like offering hosting. I didn't even know, for instance, that I thought Elementor hosting was sort of like the like Webflow, right, where you just get the hosting with the thing. And instead, though, like you can also just get Elementor hosting and just put bricks up on it, just as a middle finger. So it's just a hosting company or a hosting solution. which is interesting at least. I mean, I'm not going to use it, but that's an interesting thing I didn't know and then I learned, right? And then another thing I learned, and you know what, we're going to look at this right now live because I haven't even checked it out on my own, but apparently on their website on Elementor, and perhaps you guys already know this. Is it .com? Yeah. Somewhere there's a thing where you can just use AI to just start designing a website, like on here.
Generate with AI, right? Like
generate with AI. Thank you there.
Yeah.
Supercharge. But there's a thing. It's free. Like you don't even need to get.
Oh, you mentioned like
nothing happen if I click on generate with AI.
Like
funny. Let me bring up screen key. Hang on. Lots and lots of effects. Okay, so I don't know if we can quickly find it, but somewhere there.
Yay.
Did you see how I did that? Was that fucking awesome or what? So bakery website generate, and then so I'm gonna have to spend a little bit of time with this. Okay, sign in to continue. So it's not. Do you just get a free account or what?
You might be able to do the free version though. Like
okay, because I did ask her like how long till I hit a paywall, and is it faster than like do I hit a paywall later than Reloom? And because it really looked a lot like Reloom, so it basically just maps out a whole website for you, and then you can download it as a JSON, or I think in one or two other formats as well. So that's really nice. Like if that was the thing that was available for free, then I could imagine just using that as part of my workflows in the future. So,
well, I mean, it's doing it in Elementor though, right? Like you're downloading, it's building in Elementor, obviously, and you're downloading the JSON of Elementor, correct?
Yeah, but what you do get is at first you just get sitemaps. Like you get different. Like it really looks like Reloom, just different pages next to each other with the sections mapped out as wireframes, more or less, with dummy contents. So,
gotcha.
Just going up to that point, it might be nice to just quickly use this to just get a first map of your website, right? Or like a first idea of what you're about to build. And then you just screenshot it or whatnot, right? Like if you just want to have a quick jumping off point, it could be interesting.
This is probably too large of a topic, but I'm going to ask it anyway. I mean, are you not using like ChatGPT or Claude for any of that right now?
To some extent, yes. Yeah.
Okay. I don't want to go down the AI rabbit hole.
That's also why I couldn't tell you, and I don't think it's going to be worth it. Like I think we're going to be wasting people's time if now we start stumbling around in this. But it might be worth. Perhaps we can dedicate a Bridge Builder Brains episode to that, or I'm just going to check it out on my own and like do a video about it or something. But yeah, I at this point, like the point that I'm at right now is just that I know it exists. Now you know too. that's as far as I think we can go with it. But it was interesting to figure that out. So I got something from that conversation. And she was like, who knows? You might be a customer yet. And I was like, no. Probably not. But I did say like my use case would most likely be that there's going to be a client, and it's not always worth it to rebuild, right? Like as much as we want to rebuild, it's not always happening, right? So then we need to decide, what do we do?
Yep.
Wondering for Elementor, like how the code is going to be. Like it's
like
uploaded before, and then like now it feels like they're adding more things in. So I wonder if it actually gets to become cleaner. Like one of the lead developers was saying like they spend a lot of time like refactoring the code to make it actually cleaner. But now I wonder like if there's more features and like they always keep adding more and more. Like does it actually get cleaner, and like the loading time? I think it's always when you check like the website from a page builder, like how fast does it load? It's like kind of one thing that already tells you about the priorities.
Or just open the DOM and look at what it looks like, and it could be pretty scary.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, they did mention, and we all know that they're on a mission to clean up their code. but then this whole site planner might not be part of that mission. I'm not sure.
AI site builder. Hey.
Yeah, I mean they've done a lot of work, I think, to get the DOM cleared up a bit. No, but I don't know if that applies like retroactively. Is that only for new sites that are built
yeah,
like that one
that's the
before?
other thing. I know with Beaver
Interesting.
Builder, whenever they cleaned up their code, it did work retroactively. Like you just installed the update and your site's code was better.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's nice when that works.
Yeah.
But then Beaver Builder, for all its flaws, they've always been a very, very stable product and a very reliable product. So it's slow to iterate, but when you get something, then it really works. So yeah.
Not to open up the whole AI can of worms, I guess, but did it seem like that was a big focus? Did it seem like people were introducing their AI solutions? Was there talk about the new WordPress AI team?
The AI team was part of the fireside chat for sure. But then, now that you are asking it, and Oliver, correct me if I'm wrong on this, but it really did feel like AI was not, I mean, of course, it was part of conversations, but there was no big AI here thing. Like,
I think some talks were about it. Like,
yeah.
One was from Marcel Tanat. Like he did one like how you can connect the command line to AI through like the new MCP plugin, and then you can tell AI like, hey, write me 10 blog posts about a bakery or something like that, and then can automatically like create them and like set them to publish or like preview draft, and then you can publish it. That was one thing. Of course, Matt Mullenweg also said like, hey, AI is the future, this and that.
Yeah, he did
and
say
like,
that.
there is a new AI team also at WordPress, like or like I think I'm not sure if it's like WordPress like automatic, let's say, or like WordPress or org. Like it's always a bit confusing. But there's
the
a
way
new
I
team.
understood it, it belongs to WordPress and not automatic per se.
Oh,
but I might be wrong.
That would be
they're
interesting.
Employees of Automatic.
Oh,
I think. I don't know. I'm talking about James LePage and that crew.
Could be both.
Yeah, they're automaticians if that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Just goes to show you how confusing the whole distinctions can be.
Yeah,
it's an apparatus. Yep, there's a lot going on there.
You were at Contributor Day, Matty. Did they show much about like AI integrations in the different teams?
No, I don't think so. But then I kind of went through it zigzag a little bit and looked at the different tables. I'm sure there was an AI table, a table dedicated to AI, but then it didn't really stick out to me.
Oh.
And then I ended up at the polyglot table, right? So translating a bunch of stuff.
Probably like always a feature, but not the core itself.
Yeah. So yeah, like I think the general impression was that AI was just part of everything, but there were not that many features or that many points during these 3 days where it just became the main subject of debate or the main subject of a booth or anything like that.
Yeah, same impression here.
Yeah.
Like there were some cool plugins. Like I discovered like a virtual regression testing plugin that seems to actually work, because like when there's like a layout shift, it can actually calculate that out.
Oh, I think I saw or heard about that too. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've tried like 3 different ones and they all didn't work, or like they always gave like false positive errors. So like the layout just shifted minimally, or like because of dynamic elements or like old Elementor code. And then it's always like, okay, like layout is shifted, but actually it's still the same, but just like one dynamic element, and like everything is offset by 3 pixels. And like the guy was saying, like after like many years of experimentation, he cracked the code, and like this one like it was really cool. Like they had like a demo showing that. I think like to give it a prop if I can, like web change detector. That was really cool, like that they figured that out. Because I've been trying so many different solutions and they all didn't work.
Say it again.
Web change detector.
Left, like left-handed?
I can put it in the chat. This
web
one.
change?
Yeah, web change detector.
Web change detector.
.com.
I'm just misunderstanding you guys. Web
WEB.
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 Thank you. Web change detector now.
Yeah, that
I don't know why I didn't hear that right. Webchangedetector.com in one word.
Yes, exactly.
Making this as complicated as possible. Automated visual checks for WordPress websites.
Yeah, like
Okay,
as an
nice.
agency, like how you can keep track of like the different pages, and I've tried like 3 other ones and they all didn't work, but this one they had like a prototype
Right.
showing like, okay, like this actually works.
Yeah. So here you go, Lex. Okay, let's see what else. I mean, then like what really, so you and I met like towards the end of the actual day, and then we hung out at that table for a while, and then everything closed up. They were actually like, somebody bounced us out. Somebody was like, you guys got to leave now. And then we got up and left.
I got kicked out.
And then like, I think we kind of dispersed for an hour or so. Like I went back home, I did a bunch of work that I didn't get to do. And then I wrote to Oliver and I was like, dinner? And he said, yeah, sure. And then we went to this Thai place that I wanted to go the first night, but they didn't have any wireless. So the first night I went to a nice restaurant. Yeah, true. So I did go out the first night. I did go out again. I went to a restaurant. I ate spaghetti carbonara for all that's worth, and talked to some people online, and yeah, caught up on some stuff from private business and private and business stuff. And so the second night we went to that place. I ate udon noodles, which are always great, always good. And some people were thinking of joining us, but then it ended up being us too, and we had some really nice conversation. And then we decided, let's just see if this org thing, if there's still any way to get in. And like beforehand, it really, like the word of mouth was that there was no fucking way to get into that thing. It was like completely cramped. But I guess since we arrived towards the very, very tail end of it, we were just able to just walk in. It was really simple. Like
Yeah.
at the entrance, there was a lady who gave us a thing, like a badge or whatnot. Like they took our names and that's it. And then we sat down, heard the last 20 minutes. Then we talked. Then we just turned around and started talking to the Finnish people behind us. And they just told us what we missed. And then I got to show you guys this place that it was in. Like it was in the basement of this bar.
Oh, you did the video. Oh,
I did 2 videos of that bar, man. Like it's really cool. So I have a shorter video here. It's a really cool place, very cramped, lots of people, and it had this. Like
do you want to switch
court.
it? Do you want to switch the screens?
It's
tiny.
Like otherwise
Just on EVMux, on EVMux.
So that was one part. Sorry, what were you guys saying just now?
Do you want to switch the screens on EVMux? It's real tiny on the stream.
Oh fuck! Sorry. Let me bring that up again. Let me bring up the video again.
Yeah.
So this was the place.
That's sick.
Guy looks familiar.
Huh.
Do you remember this guy's name? Was it somebody you already knew?
Oh, I think yeah. Like Robert, I believe, or Marcus. Something.
Not sure.
I've seen him at every WordCamp. At every WordCamp, we're like, hello.
Okay, he's another fixture. And then I just needed to get a video. Like that was mostly for my wife, but like it's really cool. It's a video of just the whole place. Like starting at the food court part, which was so like I've never seen that before. It's really unique. Yeah. And mind you, this is a bar, right? But it's got these food court places at the side, right? These tasty samosas here.
Empanadas. Just like you can get all the food from the world. Like in this place in Basel.
Every culture has a meat pie.
And there's like out there is like the exit. There's the street. Yeah.
like in being there was like, I think 20 times louder. Like now you hear it like with a very quiet
It was
sound,
really loud. Yeah.
like with music and all of that.
Maddie, you could definitely be a vlogger, man. If you can hold that thing up and just shoot, you're good, dude. You can
Yeah.
absolutely do this.
I do need to
Quit your
get better. I mean, if I want
quit your
really
day
want to,
job. Quit
if I
your
want
day
to be a
job, just be a
vlogger,
full-time
then
vlogger.
I need better equipment than my shitty Fairphone. I mean, it's a Fairphone. It's a pretty good phone, but it's still a phone. So yeah, I need
Do the
better.
raffles next time. You win all the equipment.
True.
There you
Yeah. I probably did. So
It's waiting for you in Basel.
and then so here comes the funny part. Like I wrote Kevin because I wrote Kevin earlier and I was like, so what are your plans for the night? And he was like, well, team dinner. And then but write me after 9. And then like at 9:15 I wrote him and it's like, where you at? And he was like, team dinner. And I was like, okay. So I went then and we did that and we hung out at this Clara place. And then by like 10:15 I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna go crash. And because I also didn't want to intrude. Like I mean, it's Kevin and his team, so I didn't want to be a douche and just push it again, right? And then I went home, and I got into bed to crash. And then Kevin wrote me, and he was like, "Where you at?" And I was like, "Oh fuck." So he was like, "Where you at? We're done with dinner and back in the area." And I was like, "Oh shit, I'm already back home. Let's catch up tomorrow." And then I was like, yeah, remember the time a girl asked you that and then you didn't get laid?
Oh my.
No. And then I was like, fuck it, I'm going. And so I went back out and it turned out Kevin and his team were at the exact same place. So I just went right back to that place and everybody was there. And then we hung out till like 1:30 or something like that.
Oh man.
It was so good.
Buddy.
So
Buddy,
much
I was
fun.
just about to make fun of you for being old and going to sleep at 10.
Yeah.
And then you said you went back. That's clutch, bro. Nice.
Yeah. I was like, this is the kind of thing where you're like, in the moment, you're like, fuck it, I'm just tired and I'm gonna go to bed. And then like
when in Basel.
You're gonna remember you're gonna just regret that for the rest of your life, right? So I mean, there's even Mark Westcott was there, right?
Did you get laid?
Oh, yeah.
Is that what you said?
That's what I was
I mean, if you look at this group, then thankfully no.
There's only men.
He went there.
He brought it up. I was just seeing. I was like confused.
Yeah, no, you took it and ran with it.
Where's the waitress? Did the waitress come back?
The hot waitress. Oh my god!
Now I know why you didn't bring your wife.
She's why do I only have 500 subscribers now? What just happened?
Okay.
I just went from 900 to 500 subscriber I don't know.
Your wife subscribed 500 times?
And she left you. No, I'm just
kidding.
I'm just kidding.
My wife is.
I'm so glad you had a good time. I'm so glad you had
it was fantastic. It was really great.
Yeah.
That's dope. That is dope.
I was like, so they were like, "Do you want a beer?" And I was like, "Yeah, but no alcohol." And Andrea was like, "What? Can you translate that?" And then he typed it into his phone, "beer with no alcohol," and it translated it to English. He said, "beer with no alcohol."
She said water.
And he was like, "That's water." I was like, "Yeah, man, sorry." And then he did get me a beer with no alcohol, so it was good. And yeah, I spoke a lot to Tobias Haas, and there was a lot of joking. It was just hilarious. Like we were laughing our asses off a lot. Like, and then Mark came, and the laughing just tripled from there.
Yeah,
like, dude's fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
It's really great. Yeah.
Awesome. Can I give a quick
night.
shout out to a buddy? Like he's watching right now.
Sorry.
Like I invited a buddy to the stream. Like, can I just give quick shout out to him?
Yeah, please do. Of course.
Yeah, Fabio.
Absolutely.
Hey, what's up? How's it going?
Hey man, thanks for joining us.
He's also into bricks, like from Italy.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
it's good to have you in the audience.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was that night, and then so I slept. The next morning, I slept till like 9:30. I slept through the first couple of talks and whatnot, and let's see if there's whatever I have from day 3 here. Fabian. Hello, hello. And
Yo,
bring him on
hello,
screen.
hello.
Yeah. So the great team, and then I just took a photo from it. Like I'm going to open a couple more Google Business profiles, because like I'm going to open one at my brother's place, one at my parents' place, and one at my current place, and one at my brother-in-law's place.
Don't tell Google any of that.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, I shouldn't live stream that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Nope. Bad idea.
But those are actually, I actually did look it up, and you can, like, if you're physically present in those places, which I am, like they're real places, and I do work there. I work at my brother's place. I sometimes work at my brother-in-law's place, so it's all legit, and you can actually do that. Like it's legit. It's not the 100% intended use case, but Google allows that. So I can actually share this as a piece of legit advice, at least to the best of my knowledge, that you can open several spots for your business, and then just get to gathering the feedback, the like reviews and all that stuff. So I've been also starting to get like more photos that I can put on my accounts, just to, like, what do you, like, if you're a restaurant, you have photos of the food, or the hotel has photos of the hotel room. But me being just a freelance web developer or web designer, like I have photos of my work spaces, where I work. And so yeah,
And a
I've been
wired
collecting-
mouse. I like that.
with a wired mouse. Yeah, I'm old school, man. I was born in 1980. Okay, I'm a fucking boomer.
WordCamp Europe. That makes
Yeah.
it like 10 times more legend.
Now you have an Airbnb that you can post as your
Yeah,
business
yeah.
in Basel.
Yeah.
There you go.
Every time you say Basel, I hear Basil Fawlty, like from Fawlty Towers. So
We
yeah,
could say Basel.
Basel. It's probably Basel is probably right if you're
It is,
an English speaker. So this is what that wall looked like at the end, right? Like there was a lot of signatures there. None of mine though. And for some reason that alternate waipu is not here. I don't know why.
Wait. The alt one, you mean?
Yeah, the alt waipu. I don't know why that's not
The
on.
control alt org one, or the alt
Yeah,
control.
exactly.
Yeah, I don't think that was. Yeah, that's not. That's like a totally
Section.
separate thing. They don't like that. I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think they would like that.
Yeah. But it'd be
This was
funny
how
to
full
just
it
slap
was
that
when
up
there
there,
was
though.
lunch. And I think that's all I have, right? Yeah, that's in terms of media. That's all I have. Let's see, let me go back through my notes. There's one or two more things. Oh God, yeah, there was one really funny thing. Like shortly after I took this photo, this one dude came up to me. He actually also lives in the Saarland, and he had self-made, like it was typed in Times New Roman on like paper. He had printed it out, and he had a couple of questions that he was just walking around asking people. It was sort of like the human bingo thing, just not. I'm not going to say not good, but different. And so it was questions about, am I using the Windows search, the WordPress like search functionality? And I'm like, you mean like what, in the front end or like the back end? It's like, I showed him a website that has a search function in it where it just uses the WordPress built-in search. And then he asked me a couple of other really specific questions of how I use WordPress. And then after a while, and he was like, he had a very unique energy, like big smiles, but also like it was a vibe that I couldn't really place. And then in the end, he transitioned into, he's a TLD merchant. So like he buys domain names and then resells them. And I'm like, that's, I mean, that's a kind of a douchey thing to do, I think. Because these things are freely available until somebody buys them and then sells them at a premium price. I mean, that it's a business model. It's okay, but it's a shitty business model, kind of. I mean, correct me. Like, do you see that differently, or is it? I mean,
it's like buying a house and then selling it for more money in some ways, but
yeah, but
it's an investment. But I see your perspective on it. Is that what he's doing? You're saying he's buying domains and flipping them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It depends how you do it, I think. Like I've heard of cases where sometimes people register like a company at the patent office, or they register like a patent, and then like some people buy the domains from that. They look like through the registry, and then like if you register a patent for like a sensor that with a specific name, they would just get the domain, and then they would be like, okay, you can pay like $1,000 and then to get the domain released. I think that's a shady part. But if you're just like, okay, like let's say bodybuilding.com is a cool name, and then let me buy that and then resell it later, can do. Like,
it is a business model. Yeah, I mean, it is a legit business model. It just strikes me as like, if it's not going to be used until, why not leave it for somebody who needs, like, let's say you want to open, you're a small bakery and you want to open that thing, and like the perfect bakery name would be bakery-yourcity.com. And it's a small city, and somebody's already bought that domain name and selling it for $1,000, when you could have it for $10 if it wasn't like, then I think that's not cool.
Taking hostages is also a viable business model.
Yeah, I guess it depends on the markup. Like, I'm going to pay 50 or whatnot, or I'm going to pay a couple hundred too. It's fine, right? It depends on it's probably a case by case thing, but in general, I mean, we all know that domains are really dirt cheap. At least I don't know what it's like in the US, but in Germany, if you want to buy a domain name, it's ridiculously cheap. It's like a DE domain. It's like $12 a year. That's nothing, right? So I should have the liberty to buy that for my clients, and I don't want anybody else. Like, I don't want people to take that away from me, and then I have to go through them to buy it or my client has to buy it at a crazy price. And like, yeah, he was talking, and then he had some, I mean, he had business sense, and he knew what domain names were worth getting, right? For sure. Because he understands that, if they have keywords in them, then they're obviously valuable domain names that are worth reselling. But it also felt like he knew, like, everything he told me, I was like, yeah, you're telling me things that I learned like 15 years ago. This is not news.
Depends also on the vibe that you're getting, right?
Because you look so young, Matty.
Yeah, I guess. Still, though, I mean, it's very basic. Yeah.
Yeah, I think if somebody else would have told you about the business model, then you might have been like, hey, this is cool. But if you're getting like this kind of like shady vibe in a way, it's like, okay, I don't understand the intention from that guy. Then it's like, okay.
I wouldn't even say it was a shady or sketchy vibe. I couldn't quite place it. He was friendly, for sure. He was definitely a friendly guy. But I couldn't read him. Like most people, you get a clear, genuine vibe, and something was a little bit off, I felt. But it was a pleasant enough conversation, for sure. Yeah. But it was one of the more, I don't know, it was an encounter where I was like, okay, sure. Nothing's going to come from this, from my side.
Was that the really funny thing?
I guess at some point, yeah.
Okay. I wonder if there was
Are you telling me I'm not funny? Is that that was the funny thing, Matt? You loser.
Yeah, I mean, funny. It is funny in a way. Yeah.
Guess I need to watch Bill Burr now or something to make up for that. Matt said he was going to be funny, but then he wasn't. Let's see. Thanks, Sakawat, for joining us. Have a good one. So we got Weglot, Mark Westgard, Peter Kang. You told me about Peter Kang, right?
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, that's the note that I took.
Agency building. Mark, do you know Peter Kang?
I'd have to see.
He has like an agency empire conglomerate. Like they started building one agency for like 18 years, and then like they started taking on more agencies. So now I think they have like a total of like 5 or 6 agencies under the Barrel Holding umbrella.
He has a really cool blog. You're welcome to share your screen if you want, and you can show us the blog, because you recommended that to me, and I think it's worth sharing that recommendation.
Actually, yeah.
So you can go ahead and share your screen, and then I'm going to add it to the scene.
Let's go. So I actually also looked up the community meetup Montreal. They have pretty awesome attendance, like 41 people, like still going strong. 2025.
Next time I'm in Montreal, I'm definitely going. How often do they do it? Is it monthly?
I think almost monthly.
Like monthly, right?
12th May, 23rd
Let me bring that
April.
up to full
10th
screen.
April.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do I go full screen there?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. This one, like Peter Kang, like it's super inspirational because they're super transparent with like how they share the numbers. And this one I really liked, the small agency owner compensation. So it's like you might think like how much can a small agency make, or like a bigger agency with like 100 people, and they've shared the numbers from like some inner workings of agencies. Um, this one is like one owner, and it's like 4 employees, and like working with freelancers, and they're making like 1.75 million, um, like in coming in revenue. But then also you deduct the expenses, and like the owner gets like 436,000 of it. Or wait, no, this one. Okay, 727,000 even. Like it's wild numbers. Like that this is possible. Like that's super inspirational to see. And like another one, this one is like they're making 12.4 million in revenue, but they have super high expenses. Like they have like 88 employees, and like a lot of expenses also for rent and so on. And the two owners only get like 211,000 pre-tax compensation. So like you carry the burden of, or like you carry the, let's say, not burden or risk, but you carry the responsibility for like 88 people, and you only get like 211,000. So like it can be a massive agency, but not necessarily that profitable. And then there's also like a middle ground. Like this one is like 8.5 million, and like they have like 26 employees, like a bunch of freelancers, and the 5 owners each get like 436,000, which is also quite impressive. And like it's a sharing like the responsibilities for the agency. And another one, like this one is even bigger, like 2.5 million revenue, 105 employees, but also very lean, like everything remote. And the two owners get like 4 million each, which is super impressive. So it's like you can have a small agency, but if you do, if you do the setup right, it can be very profitable. Or it can be like a very large agency, but it can also be like completely the opposite of that. And I think just to see those numbers, like super cool. And like the guy Peter Kang, he's super transparent with how they built their agency. So like every month, I think they share like what's the wins, what's the losses, and all of that, and like how they're pitching. So like I'm super grateful that they put out so much good content, learning a lot and taking a lot of notes.
That's why, like, I was looking. I mean, there's great YouTubers for learning about agency management, running agencies, and but sometimes I don't want to watch a video. I just want to read an article while I'm bored and like don't have my headphones with me or whatnot, right? And so this is a good one to have in my toolbox, in my bookmarks.
Very condensed.
Yeah. Then there was one more thing that you mentioned. Let me see. Just going through my notes, I talked about Remkus, I talked about Andrew Palmer, talked about Mark, WS4 Mark. On the third day, like, I mean, he was there and during that dinner, or that evening with the team, but then it was not conversation time; it was fun time. And so the next day, he was hungover and sleepy, but I went to his booth and I talked to him a little bit more, and just such a great guy, so genuine, really nice. And I had no idea it was just him. Like WS Form, I was like, "What? Who's your team?" And I was like, "No, it's just me." He's been doing it for like 8 to 10 years, something like that. Yeah. Talked about Raquel, Hughes Coates, Flickr albums. Oh yeah, so there's the Flickr albums. I just took a quick glance, but it's like thousands and thousands of photos there. So if anybody's curious,
you want to make it full screen again? At the moment, it's
yeah,
still
I should probably share my screen. There. Add to scene. Yeah, there's all these.
Thank you.
Lots and lots of photos. There's one photographer that walked up and talked to me for a little bit. We talked about photography and what cameras we use and all that. And he was a really cool guy, and he took a few photos of me that I really liked. So I'm gonna try to find them. But
nice.
Like, yeah.
Can you task an AI with searching for the photos?
Right. Yeah. Okay. This is already later than that. Yeah. anyhow, like if you want to, like you just Google WCU 2025 Flickr, and you're gonna find these. Like every day has several thousand photos. So yeah, there's a lot. Then we have the TLD merchant, Google Human Bingo, chaos.community. Yeah, that was the other thing that I thought was interesting. I think that was also Oliver, right? You told me about that.
Which one?
Chaos community? Was that you? No.
That was another one.
What was Chaos Community?
We have Chaos Computer Club in Germany, but
Right, yeah.
different one.
Broadcast. Okay, I'm not really sure why I wrote that down. Oh no, that was mentioned during the fireside chat, and I believe it was something about sustainability and environmental protection. But there's not. I can't say enough about it to make this one worthwhile sharing. I don't know what it is.
I remember, true. It was at the fireside chat, right?
It was at the fireside chat. Somebody brought
kind
it
of
up.
like somebody pitched it and was like, "Hey, we need to have more sustainability within WordPress." And then
Yeah.
Matt was like, "Okay, we shut down the department. If there's a better proposal, then like it might get included again," but kind of more hesitant.
Yeah, I mean, they have a very revealing about page. Chaos engineering is the discipline of experimenting on a system in order to build confidence in the system's capability to withstand turbulent conditions in production, which answers all my questions.
The name is the motto.
Yeah. So I don't know why I'm bringing this up. Long and short of it is that. So this is it. This is all my notes. Yeah.
Nice.
I guess for me, like I'm just really, really grateful I got to do this, and I got to be there. It was really great. It's a trip, and I'm definitely in the mood for more now. And I believe I've made really great connections. There's definitely new people in my life that I'm going to stay in touch with, also, I mean, it allowed me to solidify connections. And obviously, massive shout out goes to Kevin and his team for having me along. I mean, I didn't expect to spend an evening with Kevin and his team. That's not something that was on my list of things that might happen, but it did, and I'm really grateful for that. Yeah, it's fantastic.
Well, buddy, I mean, I hope you have your passport. August 26th, U.S.
Wait,
baby.
what's August 26th?
Portland, Oregon. You're gonna be there. Oregon, you're gonna be there.
I might
get the United States experience.
I've been to Portland. I was in Portland in 2011. It's a beautiful town. And it's that's WordCamp US or what?
What?
No, the inner city is nice. Seriously,
that was a while ago, but yeah, it's still there.
Okay, the inner city is still there.
It'll be
Wasn't
good.
Portland the one that was that
it'll
got?
Be good.
Like, wasn't Portland the one that was taken over by social justice warriors at some point?
Something like that. Yeah.
Am I getting that wrong?
Chop, Chaz, I don't know. Something like that.
Well, they had that in Seattle for sure, but probably in Portland too. They're pretty close.
Like, yeah, they're all over there. It's all good. It'll be a good time though. I think you should come.
Yeah. Oh, this was funny. Like
Oliver, you too. Come on over.
I should, but I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do that. But definitely, I want to go. Like, I'm pretty close to going to the US. Perhaps not during this administration. I don't know yet.
How does Miami? How does Miami sound? Better or worse?
Yeah, Miami is also good.
Miami in
I watched
November.
Dexter. I watched Dexter, and I like Miami. That looked good in Dexter.
Never seen it, but I take your word for it.
You've never seen it? Yeah.
No.
It's a good show.
Texas would be good. I got a buddy in Houston I want to visit.
Right.
That would be cool if something comes there.
Yeah. Get the barbecue.
Yeah. Yep.
Right, guys. Okay, so we've hit the 2-hour mark. Thank you so much.
Hey.
And we shall be in touch again soon. Mark and Brendan, let's get together and let's plan the next Bridge Builders.
Yes, sir.
I mean, thanks for inviting us. I mean, this is as I said, like it's pretty exciting, and it's just cool to see all these people, 3 people in this live stream,
right?
All these pictures, Everyone
Yeah.
makes their money off of this free software. It's pretty dope.
Yeah,
It is.
exactly.
That was super fun. Thank you very much for having me as well. Like,
Absolutely.
really enjoyed the session
Oliver,
with you.
appreciate it, man. Thanks for coming on.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Cool.
Yes, sir. Thank you, everyone.
We'll be in touch,
See you in the
guys.
next one.
Cheers,
you.
guys. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.